So, Claire, I was looking at the Yoga Alliance website, and guess what I found?
There's always something new on that website. I can't imagine. What did you find?
So, here we are on how you become a teacher. And there's all these different designations you can get as a Yoga Alliance teacher. And to be a lead trainer in your own yoga school, you're soon, not completely yet, but very soon going to need to have the E-RYT 500 designation. So I was looking with a teacher who had been teaching for a long time, but she didn't take a training with a Yoga Alliance registered school. So she was having trouble registering as the E-RYT 500. And lo and behold, this line here just appeared. I don't know when this appeared. All these requirements or meets experienced teacher pathway criteria.
So,
Learn more here.
okay, so the or part is new. So up until very recently, you could not get E-RYT designation if you had not graduated from a registered yoga school, like some of the schools in India. We've seen people go to take very authentic trainings in India, but because it's not registered with Yoga Alliance, they have this authentic training, then they come back and it doesn't count for Yoga Alliance. So that has changed. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so I thought today we should look at this new experienced teacher pathway and that some people might be able to use to become a trainer. Are you ready to become a yoga trainer? Welcome to the Yoga Trainer Fast Track.
We help experienced yoga teachers become trainers in their very own yoga teacher training school.
If you wish it was easier to have your own training,
Like and subscribe to get free resources so we keep making more videos. Let's get started.
so let's look at the experienced teacher pathway, and we're going to click here for more information. And here it says apply for an E-RYT 500 credential through the experienced teacher pathway. This is a pathway to an E-RYT 500 registration for immensely experienced teachers with expertise in the field of yoga who do not otherwise fit into the requirements.
Wow, this is really big news coming out of Yoga Alliance because I know we have had conversations before asking on behalf of other teachers wanting to become trainers, asking for them to get E-RYT designation. And it was always an absolute no gray area under no circumstance. So this is new. This is very
Mhm.
exciting for
I
yoga
don't even, I
teachers.
may not be new, just they never seem to, I didn't see the announcement. So it's new to us.
Yeah.
$150 to do it. So if 85 is the application fee. Then if it's approved, then you're going to pay an additional 65. So that's 150 compared to 115.
Right. So it
So
already meets the requirements and it's a straightforward. So
yeah,
this is an alternative path.
you're paying $35 more. And I guess that's for them to review. So let's just look at what you need. So completed a minimum of 500 hours of training from no more than 3 pathways of study. So you can't say like, oh, I've taken 50 courses over the years and
Right.
it's more than 500. It has to
Or
be
a
only,
combination of workshops that you're sort of putting together. There needs
yeah.
to be some theme.
And you can provide documentation of the training. So it has to be an in-depth training, a minimum of 10 years of teaching experience.
After your 500 hours of training, you
That.
mean immensely experienced.
Mhm.
Fair enough.
And then completed a minimum of 3,000 hours of teaching experience in multiple modalities and can provide documentation of the experience. So you need 10 years teaching experience, 500 hours of training, and 3,000 hours of teaching experience. Okay, let's compare that to the E-RYT 500. So 500 hours is the same.
Yep.
And then teaching requirements. So here for the E-RYT 500, you need 2,000 hours of teaching experience,
Or they want an extra 1,000 hours if you've
extra
gone
1,000 hours. And then how many years since graduating? Oh, yeah, has taught at least 4 years.
since completing their 500 hour. So you need 6 more years and 1,000 more hours if you are applying outside of what they recognize as yoga schools and what they've approved as trainings. Okay.
Then how do you apply? So letter of intent, they're going to give you an example. Yoga resume, they'll give an example. Official training documents such as certificate, diploma, or signed letter. You know, that might be tricky for some experienced teachers. Like I know for me, like I studied with a guru for over 10 years. It was like meditation, so it wasn't part of my yoga training, but I never got an official document from it. You would sometimes, if you've studied in that kind of ashram environment, nothing is kind of official. It's just that you're living this yoga lifestyle. So that might be tricky.
But I do like that they've said a signed letter, because I know far too many yoga teachers who have lost their certificates. So at least if you can get a signed letter from your teacher, that might be helpful.
Right. Yeah. So maybe you could get a signed letter from someone who you lived in the ashram with or something like that.
Right.
Recommended additional training documentation, example, graduation photos, final exams, journals, training manuals, etc.
So they actually want to see what you've learned. And I can understand this, because if you are a lead trainer or an experienced yoga teacher through a registered yoga school, Yoga Alliance would have approved. They know that what the standards are. So it does make sense that they want to see the manuals and they want to see the details of, well, what have you actually learned?
Mm-hmm.
And can we give you this designation? Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And then you need contact information, name, email, phone, for 3 references: a student, a colleague, and a teacher. References will verify ethical integrity, expertise, and experience via email. So you need 3 letters.
Or 3 references that they can contact.
Submit your application. So you can create an account. That's probably the free account. You would just create up here by this join button.
Submit your qualifications, experience, proof of training materials, and references, and wait for your references to respond. Then it's $85 for them to look at everything that you have submitted, and then receive the credentialing team's response within 3 to 4 weeks, and if approved, pay. So I guess it's really just gather everything that you have to prove that you have experience and knowledge and training. There's not a specific outline for what's required, but they're willing to look at the individual cases for people who haven't graduated from an RYS. This is good news.
Yeah, there's lots of FAQs here. And let's just, for fun, let's just look at what this apply now looks like.
Sure.
Okay, so you have to create a free account. So Claire, I think I have a free account. This is the one we use for our test school. So I've logged into my free yoga account, Yoga Alliance dashboard. And I don't really have a dashboard because I haven't created anything. So it's going to ask me, how would you describe yourself, school or teacher? You can click on the designation you want to apply for, and that will take you to those options. So I'm going to click on E-RYT 500, and then here it is. So how would you like to apply? I successfully graduated from an RYS 200, 300, or 500, or I meet the experience. So if I click that.
Okay, this is great.
Oh, sorry, I didn't read it.
That's okay. Okay, so we're back.
It takes me back to this page. Apply now. Let's see, come on, Yoga Alliance.
I am curious with the submission process, if you're just attaching documents as proof, or if there's specific questions. Here we go.
Okay.
This.
So I'm going to have to confirm. Okay, are you prepared to apply? Checklist to make sure. So then now you can go ahead and start filling all these things. So they're going to ask you for your application checklist. So they want you to have all this ready before you start. They're going to ask for training background, teaching experience, yoga resume, and letter of intent, your 3 reference letters, and then you're going to have to agree to the terms and conditions. I think that opens up some opportunities for people.
I really think it does. And, you know, you and I have both fallen into this category because we've been yoga teachers for so long. I know that you were a yoga teacher before Yoga Alliance even existed. And I fell into this with my prenatal training. I took it before there was a prenatal designation, and I actually had to retake my training in order to be a trainer of a prenatal program. So this will actually speak to everybody's experience when it comes to Yoga Alliance, because some people have been teaching longer than Yoga Alliance has been around, and they've been denied access to an RYS. So this is great news.
It still means that if you have less than 10 years experience, you don't really have a workaround. It also is saying to people, if you want to keep teaching till that 10 years experience, then you can have no more than 3 schools that you've trained with, and you're going to need a letter from those schools.
They are clear about saying this is for the immensely experienced teacher.
It's saying too that there's still a reason to be a registered school with Yoga Alliance, because if they want to join Yoga Alliance, they won't be able to use that experienced teacher pathway for at least 10 years. People may not have stumbled across that option yet.
Yeah, I certainly didn't know it was there. We were inquiring about somebody's qualifications who did not train with a RYS, and the answer was a hard no. So they've made this decision in at least the last year. So if you didn't know it was there, neither did we, but that's a great find. I love that we are constantly exploring this Yoga Alliance website. We have made it our mission to understand what the heck they're doing over at Yoga Alliance. So I love that you found that page.
And I love that the website works too. That is a bonus too.
So yay, good news for experienced yoga teachers.